Hi there, welcome back to the Purple House, and today we want to shine the light on your lymphatic system briefly, because recently we've had many clients come to us with issues in their tissues, namely their lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system goes right throughout your body, and when it works well, you don't even know that it exists, but when it isn't working well, you're going to end up with puffy feet, puffy ankles, swollen legs, tummy, brain fog, puffy face. All of that happens because there's something going on in the lymphatic system and it's not draining away the fluid properly. And no matter how much water you drink and how well you rest or exercise, it's not putting a dent in it. So today we want to explain why that happens in simple terms, so we're not going to overburden you. So Pete, we're going to choose different reasons. What is one of the most common ones that you see, what causes people to have like toxic buildup in their lymphatic system?
I'll share the...
Don't disappear.
I'll share the digestive side of things.
Okay.
If you're not breaking down your proteins properly,
I was going to share that. All right.
They go into the bloodstream, partially undigested, but they don't just stay in the bloodstream. They go out into the lymphatic system and draw water to them, cause a sludge in the lymphatic system, and during the day they drop down into the legs, ankles, and that fluid sits in your legs and ankles during the day. At night time, you lie down and that excess fluid floats back up into the rest of your body, where your kidneys, it'll eventually go back into the bloodstream via the lymphatic system, but the kidneys then get rid of the excess during the night, and you often wake up with a full bladder during the night. It'll wake you because that excess from your feet and legs has come back up and the kidneys have got rid of it.
But sometimes people wake up then with swollen hands, so it's gone from the feet into the hands and then your fingers feel all puffy. Yeah. That can be another sign that your lymphatic system is in need of some help, and we are going to tell you how you can help your lymphatic system.
And quite often the kidneys are having a job to get rid of the excess because they're overburdened by that excess floating around in the bloodstream as well.
Right.
Now, Grada will share with you the next thing that will be causing that build-up of sludge and fluid in the body.
Okay. Well, I was actually going to say the reason why you end up with proteins in your blood that don't belong there is because you most likely don't make enough hydrochloric acid. Most people don't have enough hydrochloric acid in their stomach, but the stomach is acid, but it's acid from the wrong way. It's because you haven't got enough proper hydrochloric acid to break down the proteins when you eat your food, right? Your stomach, which is like, I'm talking about your upper section where the food drops in, it goes through the pipe, drops into the stomach, that is meant to have an acid file like carboxylic acid, which is meant to break down everything, including like protein, sugar, starches, the whole lot, worms and bacteria or microscopic things that enter your stomach. So, but 99% of the world population doesn't have enough hydrochloric acid, so that is key that you build it up, and you build it up by having more minerals, like having extra salt, have at least a teaspoon of healthy salt in your diet per day, and take some betaine HCl. That's what we recommend, that works well for people. So then, I'll just finish that off. If your stomach isn't acidic enough, you do get lots of burning and stuff, then people think, I'm too acid, and they take antacids, because that's the most sold over-the-counter drug in the world, and that's the exact opposite what you need. That's like putting fire out on putting water on a smoldering embers. So all that undigested food ends up in your small intestine, then it ends up in your large intestine, like the tail end of your body, and that's when it gets pushed through the bowel wall into your bloodstream, because most people have leaky gut. And when you have leaky gut, you also have leaky brain, and it all starts at the top. So that is why I pulled it back. And then the next thing that Pete's probably going to talk about is the bile flow.
Well, I'm going to talk about enzymes to start with, because
right. Okay.
enzymes are needed also in the stomach. Normally, our food, they're full of enzymes, but processed food and food that's been sitting on the shelf for a long time is devoid of enzymes, and enzymes help break down the food as well. And we recommend people take an enzyme mix every meal to help digest every type of food. There's protease for proteins, lipase for fats,
amylase for carbohydrates,
and cellulase for vegetables. There's the whole range of different enzymes to help break down every type of food, so we get the goodies out of our food and they don't go into our bloodstream partially undigested that causes the sludge in the lymphatic system eventually.
So we recommend Omnizyme, which we have on the shelves, by the way.
Then the organ that actually gets rid of the waste out of the body is the liver. And if that's congested, then all that waste stays floating around in our body and builds up a sludge.
Gets recycled.
In the lymphatic system, and toxins float around there. It's not a very good environment for ourselves to be living in.
And we sometimes see children as young as 6 already with fatty liver.
Yeah, and so to get that bile flow happening properly, that is what actually digests your fats for you and sterilises the bowel, neutralises the stomach acid as it hits the bowel. And
that's your bile, hey? Did you just say that?
The bile, and it's a pH, it's alkaline, meets extremely acid content of the stomach, and it causes quite a chemical reaction that blows the food to smithereens and completes
a nice sizzle.
Completes the digestive process. So the small bowels, nice and happy, can take what it likes. And if that doesn't flow properly, then that's not going to happen properly. Now, beet flow is the other supplement that helps open the bile ducts and gets the bile flow going. It also opens the vascular system, the blood vessels. So it's good for kidneys and heart disease as well.
Hypertension.
It'll lower blood pressures. It'll get the blood so it'll flow properly. And it takes the load off the kidneys if the liver gets working properly.
Yeah. Now, I want you to know almost nobody talks about bowel flow. Like no naturopaths, no doctors, no natural therapists. And it's absolute key. And do you know how much bile your body actually produces per day? Because it's huge amount. It's like between 750 ml and a liter. So if you see a liter jug, that's how much bile your liver produces every day, which is a detox substance. It's like the washing machine powder that you put in the washing machine. And our bodies are amazing detox systems, right? We don't have to tell our body detoxify itself because it's doing that all day long. If
you keep a healthy liver, you don't need ever to do a detox because it's detoxing continually.
Yeah. So, but if your bile isn't flowing, it's like the pipes all clog up because it's too thick and sludgy and sticky, and the body is like working really, really hard, but your machinery basically grinds to a halt. So, luckily, we're able to tell you all this because we have beet flow, and we've been selling beet flow or helping people with beet flow for nearly 20 years now. It's getting close to 20 years with amazing results.
We had an elderly lady brought to us with lots of swelling due to kidney failure. Her kidneys were about totally shut down, and they were suggesting she needed to go on dialysis. And her daughter brought her to us, and we recommended she try beet flow, and the liver started getting rid of the waste and took the load off the kidneys, so she didn't require dialysis, which was amazing.
And she was also less confused, like she got her brain power back. So if you have leaky gut, which nearly everyone has, that's because your top of your digestion isn't working well, then eventually the tail end of your body really suffers the most, doesn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
And so if you think of your large intestine or large bowel, it's as thin as your eyelid. It's even thinner, actually. And so
one layer of cells.
That's right. Yeah. And it's really only meant to allow healthy things through into the bloodstream and not like undigested food particles, not poo. So literally poo enters your bloodstream, just to put it in simple terms so that you understand what's happening. And then now your blood is toxic. And by the way, so the blood vessels are surrounded by lymphatic vessels. So some of those toxins spill into the lymphatic system, which is like your irrigation channels, you could say. And so the liver has to get rid of all of that again, and it goes like, I already cleaned all that out, now I have to do it again. It's like so stressful and upsetting for your liver. So
and then it also allows candida out into the bloodstream
which
from
is
the
fungus.
bowel, which is usually
Very
at that
toxic.
point in time a fungus, which is very toxic. But to heal and seal the gut, we need extremely good probiotics, and we need to be replenishing those on a daily basis.
So Pete and
I, we take good health.
That's right. Yeah. We take a tablespoon a day of Love Your Gut fermented vegetables, right? So they're a Tasmanian product, very, very healthy. So a tablespoon a day is really the minimum that you need. That is actually great for your whole body. It's got enzymes in it and all sorts of good stuff. And then on top of that, we also take immunosymbiotic. So Beet Flow, Omnizyme Immunosymbiotic, they come in a package, and you've heard us talk about this package before. It's called the Ultimate Vitality Boost, and there's a free ebook. I'll put the link here below. So please go and read that ebook, because it actually tells Peter's recovery from life-threatening food allergies. Pete, this man here, when he was born 68 years ago, he was violently allergic to cow's milk, and he was born on a dairy farm, number 7 in a big family, the last baby, and they'd never heard of milk allergy. So Pete actually nearly died as a baby, and he suffered a lot from his digestion till he was in his 30s when he discovered enzymes. We both discovered enzymes when we started to learn to be natural therapists. And we used to buy our enzymes from a local vet, mind you, like it was like an animal product. So that really turned Peter's health around. Then we studied in America, and we've been importing our products from America now for 20 years, and we do this ourselves. And Pete can absolutely eat everything and anything. And on top of that, his health is so good that his eyes keep improving every year. When he has an eye test, they get better all the time, which is unheard of. So our body has huge potential for recovery. That's for everyone. It doesn't matter what you suffer with. You basically have to look after your pipe, right? If you think of your body, you're basically a pipe that starts here, goes through the center of your body and comes out at the bottom. And all your organs structured around it, and they get nutrition and food from your pipe, or they get toxins from it.
Grada's just talked about my recovery, but Grada was hit by a truck and left for dead, really, and had multiple fractures, sacrum completely shattered, that they took out and mashed up into a paste and slapped it back in. And her body has recovered. She had x-rays a few years ago, and the radiographer didn't realise she had had a shattered sacrum. The sacrum had regrown. So if we can
its original shape,
if we can give our body the things it needs, it'll do the work in reshaping and regrowing and getting health back. And Grada's an amazing example of the body doing the work. If we give it the things it needs. And that Ultimate Vitality Boost pack is a four-prong pillar.
No, it's like 4 legs to a table, right?
Yeah.
It's a solid table, a solid structure. If you remove one leg, the table gets wobbly. So after I got hit by the truck and I was left for dead, like Pete said, I had so many injuries, I can't tell you about it. But I made full recovery. But then 2 years later, I had like a mental breakdown because I had spinal injuries and my bladder was paralyzed, which meant I had to self-catheterize. I also had a colostomy bag, so my bowel was also injured, and I was living on antibiotics for like every month I had to take antibiotics because I had an infection. And so I didn't realize, this is 20 years ago, that one lot of antibiotics increases your risk of mental illness like depression and anxiety by 50%, right? And let alone 2 lots of antibiotics.
It wipes out all the good gut bacteria in the large bowel.
And encourages the toxic bacteria, and you get 80% of the messages come from the bowel to the brain, and only 20% of the messages go from the brain to the bowel. So after 2 years of antibiotics, I woke up one morning and I didn't know who I was. I literally had a psychotic split, and I spent a while in a psychiatric hospital where I got like whatever counseling and all the rest, which didn't really help me because my problem was like deeply physical. And luckily my body recovered enough for me to fly to America, where Pete and I and Caleb, who works here too, he's our son, he also went to America. We learned how to repair the foundation of the body, and that's when I started to fully recover. And I'm still really, really good, just so you know. But Pete and I, we always take a probiotic every single day to keep our communication healthy. And because your brain is only as happy as your bowel is, right? Yeah.
And then the full health audit, I look at a lot of things where the body can be out of whack, and I recommend things to bring it back into balance. I teach you how the body works and what to give it to create.
Yeah, that's called a full health audit.
Yeah.
It's like looking under the bonnet of the car, like, you know, with really clear eyes. Caleb does it as well. He does the same full health audit. And before I forget, Pete is going to do a workshop or a masterclass, I call it, on Sunday the 21st of June. I'll add the details below here. Here at the Purple House, you can buy a ticket to join. Please do. The reason we do this, and it goes for 3 hours, he's going to choose 5 people and look at somebody's blood under the microscope, which only requires 1 drop of blood. And he's going to explain to you everything that goes wrong, that people generally do wrong, where the confusion is, how people make themselves sick, or how people don't recover. But you need to know this knowledge. And the reason we open the door is because every single day people come to us. We are flooded by sick people at the Purple House, and people thinking they're doing the right thing, but they don't, right?
And they often come at the end of the road, really.
I know, and then it's really hard. But people, of course, can repair, like Pete and I have repaired our lives. So we want you to know everything that we know, and Pete is probably the most knowledgeable person in Australia when it comes to cellular health. So is Caleb. So we want to teach you all that for like almost nothing. We just ask you a fraction of the cost, just a token amount, so that you can come and join and invest a little bit in yourself. Because if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't pay attention. That's a sentence that we were taught. We want you to pay attention, and we want to give you the power to heal your life and get back on track and make the second half of your life the best part of your life. Also, if you're a parent, you need to know this for your children. If you're a grandparent, you can support your children or your grandchildren. This is all stuff that you need to know that we can't share online or anywhere else. So please come and join us for this amazing masterclass. I'll put in the details, and we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for being in our audience. We really appreciate our community, and we're here to look after you. And you give us so much joy as well. So thank you for being in our community, and we look forward to being with you next week. Bye for now. Bye.